Leah, let's do this.
Let's do this indeed. So, if you've never heard of this game, I don't blame you. This is a really obscure game. It's a Metroidvania based on the Love Live series. It's kind of a miracle that it exists in the first place. It was announced as an April Fool's joke in 2023, but it turned out to be real. And yeah, it's quite a cool game. So, we're just going to get this thing started right now in 3, 2, 1, and go. So you might be wondering what the all upgrades part of the category name constitutes. It's not actually going to be relevant for a little while, until maybe about halfway into the run. So I'll explain it when we get to it. But for now, the main speed tech in this game, at least at the moment, is slide chaining. So normally a slide will last about 2/3 of a second before it dies out. But if you press the slide button in a rhythm of about once every half second, you can actually chain slides, and it is much faster than just doing individual ones. And we use that pretty much everywhere. We do get better movement options later, but this is pretty much the best thing we can do for most of the game. And we do want to take a lot of damage boosts here. A lot of the time damage boosting can be faster. That is a musical score, that is a surprise tool that will help us later. But for now, this is our introduction to the randomized rooms. So there are 9 sets of these randomized rooms in the run, and as the name might imply, the room layouts are random, and also the amount of rooms you get is random. So there's a lot of RNG in this game, and it's not just limited to the rooms, there are also drops we're looking for in some cases. So kind of every run in this game ends up being different. There are obviously things we're looking for, but like no 2 runs of this game are the same. This is a really long room to get. This is the longest room you can get in Sunken Temple, so not too thrilled about getting it. Okay. If it's a golden portal, that means it's the last one. We didn't really get lucky there. That was 4 rooms, and one of them is very long. You can get anywhere between 2 and 5 rooms. Obviously you'd want 2 rooms, ideally. So getting straight into the boss. And pretty much our main method of attacking is to just alternate between our partner Lilacs and our weapon, the guitar. Not the country, it's a sword. Getting hit with the country guitar will probably be really painful. And just like that, we're already done with the first boss, and whenever we beat a boss, we unlock a new partner. No problemo. Whoops. There is a typo there that they never fixed. A lot of our partners are just like very niche use cases. Like Chica, who we just unlocked, is really only used in very few situations. But some of them are more useful later on. Our second area, the grotto, is not one we're going to be completing immediately. We're almost just like passing through here for now, and we're actually going to be doing that a couple times. This is kind of like one of the main hubs for getting to other areas. No problemo. Which is Spanish for no problemo. That's a save point. We can return to them at any time, which is really helpful. That is any time and from anywhere, so we can just walk to them whenever we please. They also fully restore our health and DP, which are darkness points. They're kind of our special points. We use them when we attack. At least when we do most attacks. The one exception is Lilaps, the wolf, who doesn't actually use up any DP. DP will become more relevant later on, but for now it's just kind of in the back of our minds. One thing about running this on Switch is that it has the slowest loading times, but it's the most convenient platform for me to run on, because it has no lag. Unlike the PC version sometimes. This is sort of the sequence break we're doing. The Katar lets you stall in the air. So if we do 16 Katars, let's do 17th for safety, I probably needed it there, we can actually get up to this platform earlier than we're supposed to, and that saves about a minute. Or we'd otherwise have to backtrack later on, because that is an item that we need to progress. For now, we've already got a quick boss fight in this area. This boss is kind of weird. I'll explain why later. Oh no. Accidentally did Chica the wrong way. This is one of the few cases where Chica is very useful. She lets us pretty much attack whenever we want. Gotta be careful in this room. So our slide chains are completely fine there, but if you miss a slide chain, one of two things can happen. If you go too late and miss a slide chain, you'll just kind of stop in place. If you go too early and miss a slide chain, because it's the same button as the jump button, you'll actually just jump. Which, depending on what you're doing, can be really bad. And that room with the poison gas is an example of that. As we were sliding underneath the poison, so obviously we do not want to jump into it, since it pretty much eats away at our health very slowly and kills us, with how weak we are at the moment. Also, we attack more quickly in the air. That's why I'm jumping before doing these attacks. The animation's a little shorter, cools down more quickly. Whenever I'm attacking enemies like this, I usually attack with the Katar first because it does more damage. Which means if I get a critical hit, I can potentially one-shot them. Whereas Lilaps isn't strong enough to one-shot them. I think. Either way, there's a higher chance that you one-shot them with the Katar. There is a save point off to the left there, but we're not going to take it. Gonna try and be a little ballsy here. This game has a lot of risk-taking. And that's one of the really cool things about it. Like, the best players are the ones who take the most risks and get away with them. For the most part, Rubens has really short rooms. Like, the rooms aren't super difficult yet. Okay, 3 rooms. 3 rooms is just kind of what you're looking for. Like, if you get 3 rooms, you can't really complain. It's when you get 4 or more that it starts to feel like the game is wasting your time a bit. We've got our last fight with this boss here. This is actually the only boss we have to fight multiple times. I don't really know why they make us do this. It's kind of weird, but Either way, pretty much the same fight. Oh no. One thing about playing on Switch is that I'm a bit worse at playing with the Switch Pro controller than the GameCube controller. I know I can use a GameCube controller with the Switch, but for some reason I can't get it working. Okay, I might have to walk back to the save point after this. For safety, I'm gonna do that. Because I've taken a lot of hits in this fight. There is a demo for this game, and the demo ends right here. Which is kind of weird, because it kind of misleads you into thinking that every boss is going to have to fought 3 times. I don't know why I just freaked out and could not find the minus button for like 5 seconds. There we go. Minus opens the map quickly. And here's our second partner, or third, Kanan. And like Chica, she also isn't used very much. Even less so than Chica, in fact. This is pretty much her only use for attacking, to kill those guys. Aside from that, we get much better options pretty quickly. For the time being, this is Sucker Volcano, which is probably the hardest region in early game. The enemies here are noticeably stronger than in the first couple areas. Yep, switch loads. Switch loads moment. We need to pick up the save point anyway, because we're going to return here later. So even if I had full health, I'd have to take that. I actually don't want to attack with Katar first here because Lilaps has a very good attack range and can one-shot a lot of those yellow fish things at once. So if I attack with the Katar first, that means that Lilaps is still on cooldown, and I can't use her to get rid of the fish guys. Oh, that hitbox lingers. Please don't give me many more rooms. Some of the volcano rooms are quite scary. Okay, that is the last room. I'm quite low on health, so I'm going to play really safe. Especially around the red guy. Oh, okay. I panicked for a sec. It's very rare that he takes more than 4 hits to kill, so almost caught me off guard. I was expecting him to die in 4 hits. That is a very useful save point, but you can skip it if you have enough health and if you're feeling daring enough. But usually you're going to take at least 1 hit in this next area. These enemies are very important, and they just... that is a very important drop I'm looking for from them, the Great Axe Fragments. Ooh, 2 of them. From what I've seen, I've already gotten a lot of the drops I want in this run, at least for the beginning portion, which is really nice. There's a little bit more to go here in this section. Do 6 slide inputs and then jump to lure that guy out of the way. Hello everyone, I forgot to put this in the John server, but yes, we are running John. And the John people are showing up. Ah, I didn't get my strat. I almost died for doing my strat. RIP. Ah, excellent. Thank you, Drywall. I've not played the Switch version in a hot minute, so it's a little weird to get used to playing on a Pro Controller again. I'm making it work. Oh, really nice. See, sometimes you get rooms like that. That's what you like to see. That's a solid 2-roomer. Yeah, there's a save point off to the left, but we do not need it by any means. We are more than healthy enough to take this on without the refill. So we're going back to the fortune parlour here, which is, this is where you go if you die, but we can also do shopping here, and we're going to buy a couple potions. So we want 2 Orphan's Talismans and 2 quality health potions generally, and we had enough money for that. Money also being an RNG factor. You get it from breaking pots. And that's why we're going out of our way for pots in some cases. We're also going to look at what equipment we can make. I'm going to make... I've not really got that many good equipment opportunities, unfortunately. But Crystal Ring is something, gives us some extra... makes us a little bit more durable. And I've also used an Offense Talisman, which will increase our attack power. Nah. You can destroy those things with Lilacs, but it didn't quite work out as I thought it would. Bro had to craft Crystal Ring. This is a very good boss, honestly. Like, all of the boss fights in this game are about getting as many hits in as you can. Like, trying to find pretty much every opportunity under the sun to do that. So we've just rescued Daya, who is a very, very useful partner. Definitely our most useful one so far. Her full potential's not unlocked yet, but even now she's quite good to have. She's basically a better version of Lilaps. She hits harder than Lilaps, can do a triple hit combo, and is also faster. The only disadvantage she has over Lilaps is range. Lilaps has very good vertical range. Oh. I actually want to use Chica here though for a second. I don't like this. Okay. That's one of the rare uses for Chica in combat. Alright, this next room is kind of important. I need to get a Great Axe Fragment from one of these guys. I did not get one, but it's not the end of the world just yet. I did get very lucky and get 2 Great Axe Fragments in Volcano. So, I need a total of 3, and there is one more guy I can kill, so we're not in danger just yet. Oh, this room sucks. This is a room you really do not want to get. For this reason, there is no way to tell which side it's going to be on. I might die. Okay, I've got to play this extremely safe from now on. That room kind of destroyed me. I kind of forgot the backup there. The drywall strat. Basically the way it works is like, there will be two almost identical versions of that room, one of them with the exit on the left and one of them with the exit on the right. And there's kind of no way to tell which one you have. Please don't give me 5 rooms when I'm like running extremely low on health. I just ran out of DP. Oh, I got 5 rooms. No. I just ran out of DP, which means that it's going to start taking DP from my HP instead. However... Oh no, I might die. However... Yeah, okay. That's really lame. However... It will not kill you. It will take you down to 1 HP and not kill you. I never get to keep the musical score in marathon runs. I always lose it in some way. I'd like to keep it for the end. I'd like to keep the musical score to the very end of the run, ideally. But I always end up losing it in some way in marathon runs. But yeah, losing your DP will take you down to 1 HP, but not kill you. So as long as you don't take a single hit, you can pretty much keep using attacks as much as you want. But anyway, this whole musical score thing that's going on right now, I ran out of health with a musical score in my inventory, so the musical score acts as like an instant revive and also gives me kind of this frenzy mode where I am guaranteed to land critical hits. Unfortunately, I did not get to use that in a good location at all. You want to use it during boss fights, as you might expect. Like, you'd want to use it during boss fights. Oh my god. The triple tide light. That's insane. John players are seething at how many tide lights I just got. It's me, I'm John players. Use a health potion here because these guys will kill me otherwise. How many tide lights do I have? I gotta have at least like 10, right? Wrong button. Oh no, also wrong thing to do. I need to go up to this room. So one of the things I needed was tide lights. I need 5 of those, and they're usually the elusive ones. I also need 3 Great Axe Fragments, which I now have. And this basically makes the best weapon in the game. And we can get it 20 minutes into the game. Buster Sword. And we're also going to use an Offense Talisman. So you can only deal damage to this boss when it's in that core phase, not when it's in this Reaper phase. You can 2-cycle it if you're lucky with your damage rolls, but it's not very common unless you have this item that increases your crit chance. Yeah, like need like 2 more hits. That's usually what happens, you get very close and then you need like 1 more hit. So we've just saved Best Girl. And we're going to return to the Fortune Parlor actually. Not to buy potions this time. But whenever you rescue a character, and return to the Fortune Parlor, they will give you a quest. And you need to do that for that quest item to appear in the dungeon. And from there you can go and find it. So in our case, we just went back because we got Hanamaru, and we want to unlock Hanamaru's quest. And her quest item is right here. And it is an extremely useful one. The thing about all upgrades is that we are required to get all of them. That's what the all upgrades thing is. I was just trying to press the Mac key on my keyboard, as if I was playing the PC version. My brain's not working today. Okay, I can only get one. Yeah, we are required to get all of these upgrades, but Hanamaru's is so useful we're going to get it early. I would have liked to be able to buy. I would have liked to buy a second talisman there, but I don't have enough money for it. Although it's probably the least important talisman to have, so I'm not too worried. So back through Volcano here, we didn't actually finish this area off by beating the boss the first time, so that's what we're doing now. Oh nice, getting past the crab. Getting past that crab is very hard to do on 60 FPS, which also includes playing on Switch. Gonna get this save point for safety. You don't have to get it, but I'd rather do it. So Hanamaru's special that we just unlocked is the single strongest attack in the game. A rather unorthodox one as well. Yeah, she's not very good with technology, to put it simply. When she tries to use the laptop, it explodes in her face. I should be able to kill him right about now. Yeah. Okay, that was a decently fast fight. You can get a quick kill, but it's kind of luck-based. Like, you can kill the boss almost instantly, but yeah, it's not very common. So now we've done that, we're heading back to Shipwreck, where we left off. And we only went there because we needed our next partner, Rico, to be able to get through to the next area. Or, well, do stuff in the next area. Also, this is my favourite area in the game. Sea of Trees. It's very pretty. I completely forgot the strat. I was trying to do two strats at the same time and it didn't quite work out. Oh no. I'm in danger now, actually. I need to do the other strat quickly. Quick! Okay. My brain got really confused. So, normally you skip that save point. It's part of a strat that ultimately only saves like a second, but I've just been doing it for a long time, and then for some reason I tried to get the save point at the same time, which led to that interaction. And then I took enough damage, which meant I needed to get the save point anyway. That's how we ended up here. Anyway. That's out the way. Scarlet Delta Suit, the thing we just picked up, that is Dyer's item. And it's also a very, very useful one that we would be picking up regardless. We pick it up in any percent as well. Alright, we're heading into the warp rooms now. Sea Tree's warp rooms can be really weird. They can be either really short or really long. Like, one room short. Oh, no, one screen short. Like that. I'm taking a risk here by just damage reducing through a bunch of things. Oh, this is a long room. Well, I've got poison on me, because I'm hoping I can make it through quickly enough that I can get to the save point. Yeah. This is a really long room. Thankfully it's the last one. We got a bunch of short rooms in there, so it's kind of deserved. Anyway. Back to the parlor again. We want to give Dias back to her. I'm gonna check. Can I buy a talisman? I can. Okay. You're not supposed to get a talisman there, but I wanted to get one earlier, but I couldn't. But now I have enough money. Alright. So Dia's item, or Dia's upgrade rather, is the Scarlet Delta Bike, which is extremely useful. Mostly as an attacking tool, but it also lets us break pots really quickly. I'm going to use that talisman here. Although the bike is not as strong as Hanmaru's laptop, it is way faster to use. And just like that, we're already done. Very quick fight. You can kill the boss before it does those sweeping attacks, which is very fast if you get it, but it's quite rare. You need good attack rolls. Alright, this is the point where the route diverges from any percent. Up until now, this has been exactly what you would do in any percent, but we're changing it up now. I did not need to go back there. There we go. So we immediately went back to the parlor because our partner Yo, who now serves as our best movement option in the game, has a very useful upgrade we're going to get, but it's not faster for any percent. Oops. I'm gonna kill these guys because they kind of get in the way. All these platforms you can't see. Right. Shooting through a very small gap here, there's no good setup for it. There we go. Fourth try. Now you're not supposed to be able to get Yo's upgrade this early, but you can. So now, give that to her, and we're going to be moving pretty quickly for the rest of the run. Yo's standard ability is to shoot us out of a cannon, which is really fast, and the upgrade lets her shoot us out of a stronger cannon, which can pass through all forms of damage. And also break pots along the way. I've just realised I've forgotten to get an item. A little too excited there. There is an item I need to get. Down here.
Gonna have a moment to read out a donation?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we have another £10 donation from Payne in California saying, only donating to troll little bro Halvius, the Korean mixer Wheelius, so he has to do all sprays. I hope that made any sense to anyone involved with that. But it is going to be going towards the any percent plus all sprays incentive, which means that has now been met. And I have also now opened tomorrow's incentive for Puppy Gunvolt in Azure Striker Gunvolt 3. So that incentive will be changing Gunvolt from a cool electric blue wolf to a puppy. So if you want that to happen, then get your donations in for that.
Oh, right, you can't do that. Ah. I made one simple routing mistake and I'm getting hard punished for it. Yes, you can't cling onto that ledge for some reason. So you have to wall jump up there. Okay. Usually these warp rooms are really quick. Because we're kind of overpowered for this point in the game. You're supposed to do this much earlier than we're doing it. Like, you're almost supposed to do Shipwreck much later in the game, but doing it early makes us pretty strong pretty quickly. And that one item I forgot to pick up and had to kind of backtrack for was Rico's item, which is not super useful, unfortunately. Here in Coral Hill, which is probably one of the easiest locations in the game relative to our abilities at the time we play it, that save point you wouldn't normally have to pick up, but we are picking it up here because we have to return there later. Now, this is a fairly important trick. There is a setup for that. This is a very just movement-based area. Like, not many other areas have this much just actual platforming. It's quite fun to do. Whee! Whoops, didn't want to do that. Oh. You can do this without upgraded Yo, but it's safer to use upgraded. And just like that, we're at the boss. Now this is kind of the biggest pushover in the game. Simply crouching in place will dodge most of its attacks. So you can wail on it pretty much as you please. This is the exception. That's one of only 2 exceptions. 3 exceptions, but yeah. Extremely easy boss. Doesn't stand a chance. Whoops. So we're going into our last normal area now. Crystalline Grotto. And we are nearly dead, so we're going to pick up the save point. Oh yes, we need to walk back as well. Walk back to the parlor because we need to get Ruby's quest going as well. This is one of the only chests we're going out of our way for, because this has a very important item. I think she kind of learned the game herself, to be honest. I didn't have to do too much. For Speeder Miser. I totally forgot which way to go in this room. I totally zoned out. I've not had that room in a while. Oh, it's this room. That's one of the suckiest rooms to get if you're low on health. It's a very, very difficult one to do damageless. Getting a lot of rooms here. I'm gonna go down here and pick up Ruby's item. Oh no, it's gonna bonk. Ah, I bonked again. You just stand there and it sets you up for it. It's trying to be too fast. And it is actually faster to go that and then go back up and do this route. We do this route in any percent. But it is actually faster to go back up and do that rather than continue down there. Oh, whoops. There is a safe point we could have taken, but we're not going to take it. Oh, missed a hit there. Bit too slow on the attacks. You need to get 4 sets of Bike and Buster Sword out in these first 2 attacks, ideally. We're now down to 1 HP. Cheeky Buster Sword. And yeah, usually he dies pretty quickly into the 4th phase there, which is the scariest one. So we need to go back to pick up Mari's quest. And also return Ruby's item, which is used for one of the other ones. So now I'm going to be doing a quick bit of backtracking to pick up the remaining items we haven't picked up yet. The remaining upgrades, if you will. and then we will truly have all upgrades. Well, this really has been Yohane, Parhelion, Blazing, and DEEPBLUE, all upgrades switched by LeahKazuno. Oh, whoops. Forgetting the movement. It's been a hot minute since I played this. These are rooms that any percent players are not really used to seeing. But yeah, really this category is not that hard to learn if you already know how to do any percent. It's just like 5 minutes of extra gameplay, which is why it works really well as an incentive for marathons. Coral Hill. Forgetting where I need to go. This is a really, really quick detour. You can do a sneaky yo shot through that gap there, but it's very difficult to get a setup for it, and it saves barely anything, so it's not really worth it. Alright. So we've been able to get into this room from the beginning of the game, but only now that we've beaten all the bosses can we actually go through here and enter the final area. So there's a very important drop we're looking out for in Infernal Altar, and we can get it from pretty much all the pots, and that is Orichalcum. Like that. This is not a strictly necessary save point, but it is a very useful safety save point. If you don't get the Orichalcums you need, you can return back there to farm more quickly again. I did not need to do that because I have upgraded Yo. Oh, there we go. Got the Orichalcums. We had very good drop luck this run. Almost no farming necessary. We will still break pots just because we want the money from them. Because we lost the musical score, we need to buy more potions than we otherwise would for the end game. One day I will get a marathon run that does not lose the musical score. You may also remember that we have not upgraded our equipment since Shipwreck, like nearly half an hour ago. So we're running on very primitive equipment here, and it's quite scary. We have a health potion, I think. And that's pretty much all the insurance we have right now. Lest we die and fall back to the beginning of this area. Also, that black gas would give us a debuff called, I think it's Loneliness? Or no, Solitude. which prevents us from using any R partners, which is a really bad debuff to have. I knew I made a mistake. I thought it was a... I thought that was an axe throwing, a trident throwing guy. Okay. Minor inconvenience. Unfortunately, that is the only save point in all of Infernal Altar, so we have to manually trek our way back there. That's probably a cue for us to make better equipment, because we were literally running on pretty low-tier shipwreck equipment. So doing this kind of out of order. But spectacles, hot-blooded bell. That's kind of the winning combo. Maybe don't equip bell just yet. The bell will double our damage, but it will also double the damage that we take. So we don't want to use it when we're trying to stay alive. Yeah, this is very non-standard routing here. Pretty hefty detour. Oh, too low. Oh, gotta be careful. I already used my double jump. So overall it's a pretty chunky time loss of about maybe like 2 minutes. Oh, not gripping onto walls. Ah. Alright, let's try this again. I did not mean to do that. I'm not really doing any better for health here. Oh no. I've just screwed myself there. That is the absolute wrong thing to do in that situation. Right, this is really sketchy now. I'm not gonna lie, this is extremely sketchy. Things can get... Okay, thankfully that is the last room. Things can get very sketchy sometimes. Right, I don't know how much money we have. Okay, I'll farm a couple times. This is where you farm for money. Oh, I just tried to press the map key on my keyboard again, so I'm playing PC. Right. That'll be enough. So it's very easy to buy potions if you have the musical score. Like, there's pretty much a set, you know, it's pretty much set which ones you buy. But, without, it's a bit weirder. It's kind of freeform, you can do whatever you want, to some extent. But yeah. And I must remember to re-equip the bell. That is not the bell. It is vitally important that I equip the hot-blooded bell. I also need to equip a talisman, which I totally forgot about. But that won't matter too much, probably. Okay. That's an extremely difficult boss casually, but it's very, very easy to do in speedrunning. Most of the time. Okay, let's get out of here. I'm not quite done yet, there's one more area to go through. So in the final area of the game here we have a boss rush to go through. But because we're really strong now, the bosses don't last very long. Oh, that's the wrong partner. Many misinputs this run, because I've not played the game in a bit. Alright. Can very easily one-cycle that guy, when we were struggling to two-cycle him earlier. It's this guy again, as well. The only boss you fight more than twice in this game, and you fight him 4 times. Normally we would actually take an intentional death there with the musical score and activate it there. And then we'd kind of shred the rest of the bosses from there. But we can't do that. And I'm going to be playing very safe to ensure I don't die. You don't have to redo the whole thing. If you die, you just kind of go back to the beginning. And have to spend a while making your way back. I'm going to use up my EX talisman in the next boss, which is stronger than a normal one. Oh, do not go back to the menu. Not really feeling compelled to use any of my health potions yet. They're mostly there if things get scary in Cthulhu, which they might. There are a few ways in which Cthulhu can land a really cheeky hit on you at the end, even though it's a relatively easy boss. But with an EX talisman it usually goes down pretty quickly, especially if you still have the musical score by this point. When he pops out of the ground like that, he can just one-shot you when you're least expecting it. But thankfully that happened in a good location. So we're nearly done now, right about at the end. We've got the final boss coming up, who's composed of 2 phases. It could really go as fast as it wants to, and I just used the wrong partner again. So time is probably going to be quite sudden. We can use the laptop again. And we're going to use our Prime Offense Talisman. It is possible to one-shot a phase if you get a critical hit. So time could be really sudden. Okay. Time's going to be in like 10 seconds. Oh. And time. Pretty messy run. It would have been underestimate if I didn't die in Infernal Altar. I think an hour is a pretty generous estimate overall, and yeah, would have hit it if it weren't for that little mishap. But yeah, I mean, I showed off most of the game the way I wanted it to. I still would really like to get a run with the musical score at the ending, because it makes the ending way more entertaining. But alas, could not quite do that. Could not quite do that. Maybe next time. But yeah, this game is really cool. It's very, very fun to run. And if you are interested, there is a free demo on Steam and on Switch, on the Switch eShop. So yeah, like the demo is a very, very easy run to get into. It's only like a 10-minute run. Yeah. I don't have too much else to say other than shouting out the John community. We call it John for short, because this game's got quite a long title. But yeah, I think that is all I have to say. Thank you for having me on.
Alright, excellent. Thank you so much for those runs, Leah. Coming up next, we have our Kirby block, and the first of the two runs is going to be Kirby and the Amazing Mirror by Hal. So stick around for that. We're going to go to an intermission. We will be right back.